Hi there, thanks for joining this prenatal Pilates class. So today we're going to be working on pelvic stability and strength and making sure your pelvis is in alignment throughout the pregnancy. So having a good starting point to this before you get pregnant and very early on in the first trimester is an excellent idea to set your body up to accommodate the baby. So what we want to do, so I'm currently in my first trimester pretty early on at under 2 months. If you see me looking to the side, it's just my notes. But yeah, so we're going to be working on back strength and endurance. This is designed for early on in pregnancy or before you even get pregnant, or if you have any pelvis stability or strength issues. We'll be working a bit on mobility as well. So let's get started. So we're going to warm you up first. So stand in position, make sure you've got your water to hand, and we're just going to start with arms up and down. So as your arms rise, take a deep breath in and out. Now we're going to rotate the trunk, thoracic, round the back, and then to the centre, round the other side, as far round as you can. Should feel like a nice little stretch. Right round. As you are coming round, I want you to exhale. As you're coming to the forward, to the centre, inhale. Trying to keep your hips facing forward throughout. A few more of these. Okay, next we're going to start with the side leg lifts to warm up the lower body. So as this is happening, I want you to keep this leg that's stabilising you as still as possible. Slight bend in both knees. This is working on balance. Make sure you're bracing the core. You're drawing your belly button into spine. That's where your balance is going to come from. So if you're really unsteady, make sure you are bracing your core. You should feel this in both legs, the stabilising one and the one that's doing the movement. As far up as you feel you can without falling over. And swap over. Remembering to get that breath in there. Start to feel a burning sensation inside of your bum perhaps. Try and keep it controlled. I lost control there. Okay. Next we're going to engage the core more by bringing the knees up one at a time. Like so. And as you bring the leg back down, you're going to exhale. I really want you to concentrate on getting that breathing in there. So the breathing is going to relax you and engage the core, activate the core properly. So this is a series of Pilates episodes, as you know, for pregnancy. So as we progress through the series, I'll be teaching and talking a lot about your core and breathing, because these breathing techniques are going to help you throughout labour and as a form of de-stressing when the baby's born. Switching the weight side to side to each leg. That's stabilising. Next, we're going to do some hip circles for mobility. As far around as you can. I want you to make sure that you're keeping the stomach relaxed throughout at this point of this exercise. All the way around, nice and controlled. Let yourself feel the stretch throughout the full movement. So personally, I get quite tight on the sides of my stomach, so I really feel this one. It feels nice to loosen off. Take your time with it. and change direction. Good. The next strengthening exercise we're going to do, so you might, before I move on from this, you might feel this in the back of your hamstrings as well as you're pushing your bum out. That's totally normal. Before we move on, so the next exercise is going to be a strengthening one for the pelvis, pelvic girdle. And I want you to, and it's also going to mobilise and open up the hips. So as wide as you can, your toes slightly pointing outwards. Now, however far out you've got your toes out, I want your knee to match it. So make sure your knee's not caving in going forward. If your toes are slightly out, your knee needs to be over, okay? So sumo squats, but as you're coming down, you're going to lift your arms up and breathe in. Let's go. And back out. So the wider you get your legs at this point, the more it's going to open up and mobilise the pelvis. I really want you to drive through the hips and the bum, squeezing the bum at the top. A few more of these. Okay, a few seconds rest there. Okay, we're going to go into the tabletop position. So carefully get down onto your knees. So we're going to work on some back strength and stability and endurance for so you're becoming stronger throughout pregnancy in your upper back, because we all know, those who are already mothers, carrying newborns heavy, and you can get a lot of tension and weaknesses in the upper back or in the full back really, but we're going to work on this now. So first of all, we shall mobilise and stretch off the upper back through cat camel. So pulling your spine vertebrae by vertebrae all the way up, head relaxed, neck relaxed, hold that, feel the stretch. And the opposite into camel, cat and camel. Looking up, you might feel a slight stretch in the abdominal, that's fine. Just make sure it's not too much. So you really want your abdominals to relax through pregnancy to reduce the risk of diastasis recti. And again, breathing out on the rise. Relax your head, it's very easy to forget about that. Apologies if I'm talking too closely into the mic. And again. Keep going, make sure your shoulders are coming to and away from your ear. Opposite movements. Okay, next what I want you to do, we're going to lift both knees off the floor, but to do this, first of all, you need to make sure that your hips stay in alignment, so they're level when you do this. And if they're not, take note, and it's where you've got weakness, it's something you should be working on. So you're going to tuck your toes underneath your heel, I guess, and you're going to slowly switch on the abs, so hugging the baby, belly button into spine. Make sure if it feels weak at this point, you really want to make sure there's tension there. So breathing out as you exhale, you're going to lift the knees. Let's do that now. So everything should be switched on. Just lifting a few inches off the floor. It's like a modified plank. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Bring them back down. Keeping that tension in the core. Again, just like you're hugging the baby with your stomach muscles. So for a demonstration, you can see I'm relaxed, and then you can see I'm switched on. Relaxed, switched on. Such a small movement. So working the transverse abdominis, which is a corset around the stomach. Keeps everything tucked in and together. I'm going to do that again. Lift, brace the abs. breathe in throughout. 3, 2, 1, and back. A few seconds. I'm going to do that once more. Lift, brace the abs. Everything should be engaged. You might be shaking a little bit, that's normal, that's fine. And 3, 2, 1, coming back down. Next we're going to bring the opposite arm to leg out as far up as you can, stable, keeping the hips stable and level again, and return. Again, breathing out as you do this, exhale, all the way up and slowly back down. And again, make sure your core's switched on through this. You've got a slight bend in your stabilising arm. Keep going. If you are feeling this in your wrist, because with pregnancy you can develop carpal tunnel syndrome, have a few seconds rest, or you can alternate these movements, so go from opposite arm to opposite leg and do the alternating, if that makes sense. So left arm to right arm. One more. Good. So again, you want to be as stable as possible. This is stabilising the pelvis. So let's do this again on the opposite. You might feel it in your glute as well, in your bum. Keep going. All the way up. When you return, you exhale. Finding these tough today. One more. Okay, same position. So if you're feeling this on your knees, you can put a cushion underneath or roll your mat up and kneel on a thicker part of the mat. Next, I'm going to do some donkey kicks, and come all the way in, all the way out. As high up as you can with your toes pointing upwards. It's one leg only. Nice and controlled. It's not about the speed, it's about control. You make sure that your abs are switched on as well. Again, this is about pelvis stability, keeping them level and balanced, even though you're taking a limb away from the centre. One more. Good. Let's move over to the other side. All the way in, all the way out. Breathing throughout, get that oxygen in. It's the working muscles and baby. Enjoy how that feels. A few more seconds. Keep them abs switched on. It's very easy to forget and switch them off. Last one. Good. Next, I'm going to go into the supine position. I'm going to do some glute bridges. Again, pelvic strength and stability. Strong bum is a strong back. So slowly come down. Sort your shorts out if you've got some annoying shorts on like I have. Okay, so vertebrae by vertebrae, you want to curl in the pelvis facing and slowly rise, squeeze the glutes and slowly back down, but I want you to come down one vertebrae at a time rather than just all together, but leading with like the bum. I want you to, this is a Pilates glute bridge, not a hip thrust. So the difference is you're coming down vertebrae, like it's like a slight bend in your back and down. See the difference? So I'll show that again. So this is what I want you to do. So it's like a curve rather than all together, okay? So vertebrae by vertebrae, one at a time. Squeeze the abs and the bum cheeks. So you should be tight here, or engaged, I say, and down vertebrae by vertebrae. Again, This is about control. Hold and relax down one at a time. If you're used to doing hip thrusts like me, even in the form of squats, it's very easy to forget about the vertebrae by vertebrae movement. And again, make sure your hips are level. Just pausing for a few seconds at the top of the movement. Make sure throughout your abs stay on and they're activated. Okay, next we're going to go and bring our legs up. Again, switch on the core, arms by your side, or you can have your arms out like this, but stability is probably best here. One at a time, you're going to bring down your right leg down, touching the floor, back to the centre. But throughout, this is the most important part, your abs stay switched on. Let's go. Trying to remain the neutral spine, so this curve isn't really increasing because your abs are switched on. If they are, and you're feeling this in your back, there's something not quite right with your core engagement. So we're not looking to work the traditional core here, like in crunches. We're looking to work the deep core muscle, which is a transverse abdominis, which hugs the baby. Keeps your pelvic floor all intact as well, they work together. Keep alternating, breathing out as you bring down the toe. Just feel a burning sensation. Okay, and rest there for a few seconds. Let's take some deep breaths in. As we do this, I want you to rise the arms like so, breathe in. Breathe out and contract the core. Contract. Keep it switched on. Okay, I'm going to do that again. Single leg tap, so back into the bent knee position, and let's go. Switching the core on, keeping that neutral spine, making sure that lower curve in the back isn't increasing as you bring the leg down. Take note of any clicks in one side more than the other, bone on bone grinding. If you do feel any pain, maybe don't go straight down, maybe reduce the movement would be a good idea, like so. So it's more of a pulse, then over time you would hope to increase this. Oops, phone's going off. Couple more, and bring down. Relax. I want to do some more deep breaths. Again. Keep the core switched on. One more. Okay. This time we're going to move over to the side without using your stomach, because you want to get used to keeping your stomach relaxed at all times. We're going to move into the side plank position. You're just going to let this part relax as well. Okay, the sides of your stomach to be relaxed. I'm going to lift the left leg, or the right, whichever one you're facing me with, all the way up, slight bend, and all the way down. And again, make sure your shoulder stays away from your ear so things don't get tight. This is working on another range of movement from the pelvis, from the hips. We started with these standing up, but because we're using gravity, to increase the weight, you'll feel these more. Okay, and now we're going to go into a rainbow position. So from here, so from the front foot, toes pointed, all the way up and over to the back. But as you do this, you don't want to fall backwards. We're going to use our pelvis to stabilise us and train it too. So all the way over, again, nice and controlled, regaining control with the pelvis. It's a good practice. Hopefully be feeling it like I am in my glutes. A little bit on fire. So I did train lower body yesterday and they are a bit sore anyway, but it's definitely got something to do with it. Okay, a few seconds rest. This time you're going to bring your leg forward. Again, make sure you don't fall over, keep control, and back. Forward, but you feel this in the how that feels. Do you feel tight anywhere? Okay. Carefully get up and over to the other side. Okay, I'm going to start with the leg lift. As far up as you can go, breathing in and then exhale on the coming down. Okay, I'm going to move over, a few seconds rest, I'm going to move over to the rainbow. So let's see what your stability and balance are like here, maintaining. So big semicircle round and over. Good. Again, hopefully you should be feeling a burning sensation. Keep your stomach relaxed. If it's getting too difficult, just reduce the range of movement, so do a smaller rainbow height. Good. A few more. Okay, a few seconds rest, wait for the burning to stop. I'm going to do just a few of those forward leg rises. All the way up and down. More. Good. Okay. Lastly, before we finish, I want you back in the supine position. You're going to bring both feet together and let your knees drop. If it is, reduce the range of movement and just do to your range of movement. Can do this if this is too painful, because I know I do have some pelvic girdle pain clients watching this, so just skip this if this is too painful. But what we're trying to do is increase mobility to the connective tissues, so just try and relax. Just going to hold this. This is a bit of a stretch. Well, it is a stretch even. So try and relax. Quite hard to fully relax through this, I will admit. Sorry, deep breaths. A few more seconds. Okay, I want you to sit up. And I'm going to finish with some more deep breaths in the seated position. So let's begin. So as you're inhaling, I want you to bring the shoulders right up close to your ears. And as you exhale, you're going to bring them back away from your ears. Again. I want you to keep your core switched on. And as you're coming back down, I want you to retract your shoulder blades, so bring your shoulders away, like to the back of the room. Good. One more. We'll do one more for a look. Excellent. This was like a gentle Pilates class. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please share it with any friends, family that you think might benefit from this. If they have trouble or feel tightness around the pelvis or hip area or rehabilitation, this will be helpful for them too. It's not just for antenatal, although the clue's in the title. Although I do say that in the title, other people can use it as well. Yeah, and I shall see you on the next episode. Thank you. Bye.